When a man retreats into silence, most people immediately assume the worst. They think he's pulling away, losing interest, or quietly slipping out of someone's life. But the truth, his truth, is almost always far more complex, far more layered, and far more human than it appears on the surface. Human emotion doesn't move in straight lines. It doesn't follow predictable, logical pathways. It curves inward first, just like a seed that must split open in the dark before it ever grows toward the light. And the man who suddenly seems distant is often not running away at all. He's confronting the immensity of what he feels. For him, love rarely arrives loudly. It doesn't rush in with fireworks or declarations. It starts as a subtle shift in the atmosphere of his inner world, something he senses long before he fully understands it. And that uncertainty, that internal earthquake of feeling, can make him withdraw not from you, but into himself. He's not avoiding your presence. He's wrestling with the rising gravity of what your presence means. When his feelings deepen, he doesn't always run toward them. Sometimes he pauses, not because the emotion is unwanted, but because it is powerful. He needs to measure it. He needs to examine it. He needs to let it take shape inside the hidden regions of his psyche before he steps forward. From the outside, that pause can look like hesitation, but on the inside, it is reverence. A man steps back when he senses something sacred. His silence is not emptiness. It's full of thought, full of wondering, full of awareness he doesn't yet know how to express. He observes more than he speaks. He listens to the subtleties in your voice. He notices the way you laugh, the way you soften, the way you tense. He collects these small impressions like pieces of a larger pattern he is trying to understand. His quietness is not a lack of interest. It's the clearest sign that he is paying deep attention. Not superficial attention, but the kind that requires stillness. And yes, love threatens him. Not because you are a danger, but because love demands the exposure of the inner self. It asks him to let go of the illusion of complete independence and allow someone to matter. It asks him to risk being moved. It asks him to surrender control, so he steps back, not to escape you, but to prepare for the surrender that true love requires. And if you look closely, you'll see the truth hiding in his unconscious behavior long before he ever speaks it aloud. The way he checks if you made it home safely. The way he stands a little closer than he intended. The way he remembers something you said only once. The way he offers comfort without being asked. These are not the actions of a man avoiding you. These are the instincts of someone whose heart is opening in secret. He's not running away. He is transforming. Love is rewriting old narratives inside him, reshaping fears, softening defenses, awakening desires he has never fully admitted, even to himself. What appears to be distance is often the beginning of devotion. What feels like hesitation is his mind reorganizing itself around a new emotional reality. So when he retreats, don't assume his feelings have faded. Sometimes distance is where love gathers its strength. Sometimes silence is where the heart begins to speak. And sometimes the man who seems to be avoiding you is the one who has already chosen you, long before he finds the courage to say it. When a man pulls back emotionally, the instinctive assumption is that something is wrong. He's no longer interested, he's distracted, his feelings were never real. But very often the opposite is true. His withdrawal is not an escape from affection. It's a protective response to the depth of emotion rising inside him. Because when a man starts to fall in love, something profound happens internally. His inner world, once predictable and familiar, suddenly becomes charged with intensity. It's exhilarating, but also disorienting. And for many men, especially those who carry past wounds or who process emotions privately, the first response to overwhelming feeling is to retreat. Not to get away from the woman he cares about, but to understand what the feeling is doing to him. Love confronts him with vulnerability, something many men were never taught to navigate. From childhood, he may have learned to hide fear, suppress overwhelm, present a stable exterior at all costs. But love challenges those learned patterns. Suddenly he becomes aware that someone else has the power to affect him deeply, to bring joy, but also potential pain. That awareness activates an internal alarm system. He steps back so he can process the weight of what he is starting to feel. It's not avoidance, it's recalibration. Inside this retreat, he's not forgetting anything. He's replaying moments. He's studying interactions. He's examining why he feels drawn to you with such intensity. He's evaluating whether this emotion is real, sustainable, and safe. He revisits past relationships, compares old patterns to new feelings, wonders if he is ready, wonders if he might mess everything up. He worries about repeating mistakes. He worries about losing himself. He worries about disappointing someone he genuinely cares about. All of that reflection requires silence. And because many men do not verbalize their emotional processes, it appears as distance, coolness, inconsistency. Inside him, a conflict begins to form. Part of him wants to move closer, to express himself, to embrace the connection. But another part of him feels cautious, unsure of how to navigate emotion this deep. His heart moves forward, his mind pulls back. He becomes contradictory, warm one moment, withdrawn the next, not because he lacks feeling, but because he is overwhelmed by it. Psychologically, this retreat is a transition, a movement from instinctual attraction to meaningful attachment. And that shift requires internal restructuring. He must break old defenses. He must challenge old beliefs about relationships. He must accept that his emotional rhythms are no longer operating in solitude. He now has someone else to consider, someone who matters, and that changes everything. Yet this entire process is deeply misunderstood, especially by those who assume love should be loud and linear. For many men, love begins quietly, internally, invisibly. It begins in the solitude of their mind, where they confront the possibility of emotional exposure. What looks like avoidance is often the beginning of surrender. A quiet acknowledgement. She matters. I need to handle this carefully. His retreat is not rejection. It is preparation. And the more powerful the emotion, the more space he needs to integrate it. The inner conflict that awakens inside a man when he begins to fall in love is one of the most misunderstood psychological experiences he goes through. To the outside world, he may look distant, unpredictable, or emotionally unavailable. But internally, he is navigating a silent battlefield between desire and vulnerability. This conflict is not avoidance. It is proof that his emotions are becoming meaningful enough to shake the emotional structures he has relied on for years. When a man first senses the depth of his feelings, it's as if two opposing forces wake up inside him. One part wants to move forward, to open up, to express affection, to surrender to the connection. But another part instinctively pulls back, overwhelmed by the exposure that love requires. This creates a tension inside him, a push and pull dynamic that shows up through mixed signals and temporary retreat. For many men, desire is easy, but vulnerability is a battlefield. Emotional attraction feels natural, exciting, energizing. But true connection demands something different. Emotional openness, transparency, surrender. And for a man who has learned, consciously or unconsciously, to guard himself, this level of openness feels like stepping into unfamiliar territory. He may have grown up learning to protect his softer emotions, to stay composed, to maintain control. These patterns become emotional armor. And when someone walks into his life who evokes real, deep emotion, those old walls start to tremble. Love pushes him into places he has avoided for years. Suddenly, he must confront the possibility of being seen, known, or even depended on. And the internal alarm this triggers makes him step back, not to escape you, but to gather himself. This pause is negotiation. It is self-preservation. It is emotional recalibration. Part of his hesitation also comes from the fear of misjudgment. A man may truly want to move closer, but he fears rushing in too quickly. He doesn't want to appear ungrounded or overly emotional. He worries about coming on too strong. He wonders if the feelings are mutual. He fears revealing too much too soon and getting rejected. These uncertainties push him to observe first, feel second, and speak later. He retreats not because he doubts you, but because he doubts his own ability to navigate emotions this intense. At the same time, desire is pulling him powerfully toward the connection. He finds himself thinking about you when he didn't plan to, imagining conversations, replaying your interactions, feeling drawn to your energy in a way he can't fully rationalize. This desire clashes with his internal warnings. And so he becomes inconsistent, warm one day, quiet the next, not because he's confused about you, but because he's overwhelmed by himself. This inconsistency is a reflection of the weight he is trying to balance. Inside the quiet moments of withdrawal, he begins questioning things he normally never thinks about: his flaws, his emotional limitations, his past mistakes. Vulnerability has a way of pulling everything to the surface. Things he thought he healed, things he thought he buried, things he hoped he left behind. Past relationships return in memories. Past wounds reopen. Past disappointments echo. These memories make him cautious even when his heart wants to leap forward. He may think, what if I'm not enough? What if I hurt her? What if she leaves like the others? What if I lose myself again? Everything that love awakens, desire, hope, fear, longing, collides inside him. And so he pulls back, not because he doesn't feel, but because he feels too much. This inner conflict also forces him to consider the long-term significance of the connection. Falling in love isn't a casual experience for him. It's a psychological shift. His decisions change. His priorities shift. His emotional world expands. He begins imagining possibilities. What a relationship with you might look like, how he would show up, how he would navigate intimacy, whether he can offer the stability he believes you deserve. These thoughts excite him and terrify him at the same time. The idea of a deeper bond appeals to him, but the fear of failing creates a temporary emotional barricade. And so, in those moments when he pulls back, he is not disengaging. He is negotiating with himself. He is asking, am I ready for this? Can I give what love will require? Can I let someone this close without losing my sense of self? His retreat is not a step away from you, it's a step inward. He is trying to understand whether he can let down the psychological defenses that have protected him for so long, and whether the woman who evokes these emotions is someone he can trust with his fragile, unspoken inner world. But perhaps the most misunderstood part of a man falling in love is his silence. Because when he begins to feel something deep, he doesn't always express it, he observes it. When a man starts falling in love, one of his strongest instincts is silent observation. This silence isn't indifference, it isn't emotional distance, it is a different kind of attention. An inward-focused attention that doesn't need to be spoken to be real. Men often process emotion internally first. They make sense of what they feel privately, quietly, slowly. This creates the appearance of distance, when in reality, it is deep engagement. He becomes hyper-aware of small details: your laugh, your reactions, your tone, your moods. He observes how you speak to others, how you respond under stress, how you carry yourself in stressful or joyful moments. He watches the expressions you don't control, the gestures you don't think about, the emotions you don't verbalize. He listens for the truth hidden in your subtleties. And this silence, this careful, almost reverent attention, is not a sign of hesitation. It is the beginning of emotional investment. He is gathering meaning. He is learning you. He is aligning himself with your emotional landscape. Because he doesn't want to love you carelessly. He wants to understand you deeply. Silent observation is also his way of preparing to protect you, not physically necessarily, but emotionally. He wants to know what makes you comfortable, what scares you, what you need when you're overwhelmed, what brings you joy. Even before he expresses his feelings, he is preparing to show up for you. Silence is his blueprint for love. It allows him to feel without rushing, to think without interruption, to love without losing control. And while others see his silence as distance, it's actually the place where his emotional awareness grows the fastest. He is not pulling away. He is absorbing you. He is not ignoring you. He is learning you. He is not hesitating. He is preparing for the moment he steps forward fully. When a man begins to fall in love, one of the deepest inner experiences he faces is the fear of losing his autonomy. This fear has nothing to do with selfishness, and it's not resistance to intimacy. It comes from a very real psychological truth. Love changes a man, and change, even beautiful, life-giving, soul-expanding change, can feel threatening. A man who has spent years building his independence, shaping his routines, guarding his emotions, and controlling his inner world can experience love as an internal disruption. Suddenly, the emotional landscape he has navigated alone begins expanding to include someone else. And that expansion can feel overwhelming. He withdraws not because he doesn't care, but because caring deeply shakes the foundation of who he has always been. Autonomy for many men is tied to emotional safety. Independence symbolizes control, stability, predictability. But when love arrives, these structures begin to shift. He becomes more aware of how deeply someone else influences his thoughts, decisions, and behaviors. He notices himself thinking about her more often than he expected, adjusting his plans, caring about her reactions. Even small shifts can trigger the fear. Am I losing myself? These changes aren't actually signs of losing identity. They're signs of expanding it, but he doesn't know that yet. His instinct is to retreat long enough to regain emotional balance. This fear intensifies if he carries past wounds, times when emotional closeness led to disappointment, betrayal, or loss. For a man who has been hurt before, independence becomes emotional armor. It's not pride, it's survival. He pulls back to make sure he isn't abandoning himself. In this quiet retreat, he asks himself difficult questions. Can I be in love without disappearing into the relationship? Can I share my life and still remain grounded in who I am? Can I let someone this close without losing control of my emotions? These internal questions shape his behavior more than anything happening on the outside. His silence is introspection. His hesitation is self-protection. His retreat is integration. He is trying to reconcile the part of him that wants deep emotional closeness with the part that fears being consumed by it. He needs reassurance, not only from the relationship, but from himself, that love does not require the death of independence. It requires the evolution of it. And once that internal understanding settles, he becomes capable of loving with a depth he never allowed himself before. But before that happens, there is another layer of truth. When a man is falling in love, the most revealing signs are not in what he says, but in the unconscious behaviors he doesn't realize he's showing. These subtle instincts speak louder than any declared emotion, because they bypass logic, ego, and fear. Even when he tries to hold himself back, his unconscious mind reveals everything. One of the first signs is instinctive protectiveness. Even while he is stepping back emotionally to process his feelings, he becomes more alert to her well-being. He notices when she seems tired, stressed, upset. He checks in unexpectedly. He offers help without being asked. He reacts quickly when he senses someone disrespecting her. These actions do not come from obligation. They come from attachment. He may not say he cares, but he acts like it. Another unconscious sign is reliability in important moments. A man in love might be inconsistent during emotional transitions, but when something real happens, when she's struggling, upset, or facing difficulty, he shows up. Even if he doesn't fully understand why he feels compelled, he can't detach when she needs him. This is not convenience. It is connection. Then there are the small, thoughtful actions he doesn't even realize are meaningful. He remembers details she mentioned once. He changes small habits to make things easier for her. He keeps mental notes of her preferences, fears, dreams. He anticipates needs before she expresses them. These are unconscious imprints, signs that she has become part of his internal landscape. He starts thinking ahead in ways that include her. He starts imagining without meaning to. He starts planning without realizing it. Another powerful sign is emotional mirroring. His mood syncs with hers, even if he doesn't say a word. If she's upset, his body tightens. If she's happy, he feels lighter. If she pulls away, his chest aches without explanation. This emotional attunement is not intentional. It's instinctive, attachment forming beneath the surface. He might not express openly that he feels connected to her moods, but his reactions shift every time hers do. And then there are the physical signs, small, almost invisible behaviors he can't control. His body angles toward her. He stands closer than necessary. His eyes linger longer. He mirrors her gestures. He subconsciously watches her in a room even if he tries not to look. These behaviors are not strategy. They are involuntary. They reveal what his words are not ready to say. Because when a man's heart begins opening, his unconscious replaces his hesitation with truth. Yet as powerful as these instincts are, they only reveal half of the transformation happening inside him. When a man begins to fall deeply in love, he enters a psychological evolution. It is not just emotion. It's identity, belief, self-protection, and hope all colliding at once. This transformation is rarely linear. It unfolds in waves, pulling him inward, slowing him down, forcing him to evaluate parts of himself he never expected to confront. To the outside world, he looks withdrawn, but internally he is rearranging the architecture of his emotional life. Love becomes a mirror that reflects not only his longing, but also his insecurities, fears, and unhealed wounds. Suddenly, he becomes aware of all the emotional responsibilities love recurs. Not because he doubts her, but because he doubts whether he is enough. He evaluates himself quietly. He questions old habits. He re-examines past patterns. He confronts beliefs about intimacy he once accepted as truth. This internal evaluation is not doubt in the connection. It is preparation for showing up fully. His instinct to withdraw becomes a space where he can examine himself without pressure, without the fear of disappointing her, without the weight of needing to perform. During this transformation, his emotional boundaries begin to soften. He learns, slowly, to let someone into places he has kept protected. He challenges the belief that vulnerability equals weakness. He starts embracing the idea that love does not diminish him. It expands him. His priorities shift too. The things he once measured as success, control, solitude, routine begin to make space for companionship, shared experiences, and emotional partnership. A future with her becomes something he can actually imagine. And that imagination both excites him and humbles him. The tension between who he was and who he is becoming creates moments of hesitation that are often misinterpreted as disinterest. But they are not disinterest, they are emotional restructuring. He is relearning love. He is rebuilding identity. He is reshaping the boundaries of his heart. And then after all the inner conflict, fear, retreat, analysis, and transformation, something shifts. Acceptance. Acceptance of his feelings. Acceptance of his vulnerability. Acceptance that love is not a threat, but an expansion. Acceptance that connection doesn't erase identity. It enriches it. This acceptance allows him to return, not as a man running from himself, but as a man ready to love with clarity, presence, and emotional truth. What looked like hesitation was preparation. What felt like distance was evolution. What appeared as silence was the beginning of emotional courage. His retreat was never the end. It was the doorway into becoming the man he must be, so he can love fully, openly, and without fear.